Well, hello. Wow, I already got a couple of people. Astro! Hey, man. And Oshanu. Tortellini and ricotta and spinach. Ooh, you need to post that in the Discord. That looks really good. That sounds amazing. What are you drinking? Skol! Yes, skol. All right, so today I'm low on wine, so I'm drinking a Moscow Mule. So we're gonna get that started. My dad got me on these. I really like them. And he's the one that gave me the vodka too. So don't judge me on the vodka. This is not my vodka. It was given to me, but hey, it'll get me drunk. Got poured strong. Yeah, happy weekend, Oshanu. All right, let's see what we got. The fuzz got in my mouth. That's good, but it needs some ice. All right. It's ginger beer. Does that mean I'm a cannibal? All right, so we actually got a couple things I want to get done to you today. I will let you guys know, though, that we've got the guy's replacing my window in here today, so he's going to be in and out. So if he needs anything, I'll have to step away for just a minute, so be aware. All right, so first off, I'm only going to judge you a small amount for the vodka. That's fair. It was given to me, so, you know. What do you do? Okay, so what are we doing today? I got a couple things extra that I'm going to do. First off, I am making that Szechuan flavored chicken. It's not actually Szechuan chicken, okay? I wanted to be very clear about that. There's a very big difference about what we're going to do today and what actually counts as Szechuan chicken. Now, I have no problem making Szechuan chicken later, but I just don't have the ingredients to do it today. Plus, it's the end of the week. We've been doing chicken all week. I just want to finish off my damn chicken because I'm kind of tired of chicken. My fiance told me this morning, she's like, no more chicken. So we'll probably do pork. That's another cheap cut of meat. You know, Meyer here in town has really cheap cuts of meat. So we might do that. She loves the more expensive cuts. So, you know, like salmon. I got some really good salmon recipes that we could do. I would really like to do salmon next week. I think on Monday, and I got to confirm with him as long as his job doesn't throw him a ringer. My boy Solkin, here, let me type his. I don't know how to link his account yet. That's his stream. He's awesome. He actually helped me get set up with Stream Deck and gave me the pointers on how to do this. So I'm gonna have him and his girlfriend here. We're gonna get hammered and cook something. So maybe if I can, we'll do salmon. I don't know. I'll let you guys know at least a day ahead of time. I'm gonna start letting you guys know ahead of time, at least a day ahead of time, what we're gonna be doing. That way you can, you know, build a little excitement and stuff like that. So false advertising in the stream life. Red braised pork belly? Oh my God, that sounds so good. Taki, that, oh wow, that sounds amazing. Okay, so, oh here, that's locked, I got you. And you can leave it open too, because the cats are stowed away. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so besides the chicken that we're making, we're also gonna do the ramen. I'm gonna do two different types of ramen. One that you can prep and do ahead of time because, you know, normally I'm very active in a personal trainer and nutritionist, so I do a lot of meal prep. Normally, I don't do as much these days because I'm cooking 3 days a week, you know, but I used to prep and do like 3 hours worth of cooking on a Sunday that would do me for the whole week, you know. When I started dating my fiance, I really had to get it going, so I usually had to do it twice a week because I love her. She loves to eat, man. I like a girl who knows how to eat. So I don't do as much meal prep, but meal prep is very, very important, especially for people that are super busy. Americans are always working, so, you know, that's part of our life is, you know, the 40-plus hour work week. That doesn't leave a lot of time to cook, especially for people who don't know how to cook or don't want to cook. So meal prep is vitally important. So one of the recipes we're going to do today is going to be a meal prep style thing where you can make it ahead of time and it's in pieces like you would at a restaurant. And then whenever you're at work, you just do these 3 couple steps. You put it in the microwave, and boom, you've got a fresh cooked meal. So that's what we're going to do. One thing, Szechuan flavored chicken. Yeah, correct, Taki. Szechuan flavored chicken, not Szechuan chicken. And I'll explain that. But yeah, what we're doing today is a much simpler thing. Anyway, then the other thing of ramen that I'm going to make is something that you're going to make in the moment. Because once you cook ramen, it's not going to keep. So that's what we're going to do today is the other one. Is like if you have the time to cook the ramen, then we'll make you a normal way to cook ramen. It's very similar to the Vietnamese pho dishes. I overpronounce that because I always want to say pho because it's PHO, right? All right, hold up. It's been too long. This is actually really good. Man, I could drink that all day like water. Whew. All right, let's come check out some of what we got going on here today. I'm going to play around with some software from my phone to try to get a better quality of the phone, so please be patient with me on that. I did try to get that GoPro hooked up to it. Wasn't working. My GoPro's 5 sessions, so it's real old, so it just wasn't going to work unless I had a whole nother PC to use. All right, so here is the ramen. So normally, like my fiance and I really love this one. This is not good for you in any way, all right? It's highly processed, but man, you add water, pop open the packet, 3 minutes later you got some really good tasting ramen. I could eat this shit all day. But it's like 430 calories for this whole thing. So that's a lot, you know, because then you got to add protein source on it. It doesn't have a lot of protein in it. And then you got the cheap of the cheap of the cheap. And that's this stuff. My girl, she is a freak for fucking ramen, man. Dude, seriously. So that's like the 6 for $1 Maruchan ramen. It's still 370 calories. I can't stand that stuff. This stuff, however, is a much healthier version. This is less processed, still processed, but it's less processed than that. And this is similar to what we're going to make today, by the way. This is much more. This is basically just Japanese pasta. Okay, similar to what you get with like American versions of Italian pasta. You know, this stuff here. You know, it's basically the same thing. Okay, same level of processing is what I'm talking about. I'm also going to teach you how to poach an egg. A lot of people don't know how to poach an egg, so that's what we're going to add. Normally they do soft-boiled eggs for this, like that one, but I'm not a huge fan of that. I would prefer to have a poached egg. Plus, I want to try it. Has anybody ever had... oh, hold on, let me see. I found the thing I was going to show you about background noise for lapel. Yes, please, thank you. I got that voice meter. I haven't played with it yet. Cool. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I need to get rid of... Oh, sorry, you're looking at my chin here. I do need to get rid of the white noise on this thing. I've been working on it, but... Mi goreng dry ramen? I don't know if we've got that. I'll try, yeah. I mean, I'm always going to try new stuff. The Japanese style stuff is just what Meyer had. It was only like $3 for 4 servings, which is not bad at all, because that bowl of ramen is a buck a pop, like $1.30. So I'm not losing out. In fact, it's a little cheaper, and it's the healthier option, so I'd rather go with that. It takes longer to cook. It takes about twice as long to cook, but we're talking like 3 minutes versus 6 minutes. So, you know, I haven't done it in a microwave. I assume it'd probably go... Yo, no, that's true. That's not true. I did take it in the microwave. I used this thing here. So I bought these, and these things are amazing. It's just a Pyrex dish. It's the perfect size for, unless I have really tiny hands. It's just the perfect size for making ramen at work, man. Seriously, that thing is, I love it. Highly recommend it. It was only like $5 for that thing, and basically you can make ramen at work. This is really cool. Okay, so we're also going to teach you how to sharpen a knife. I've been talking about it for like a week now, so we're going to go over that real quick. We'll do that at the beginning, and then the poached egg will be in the middle of it all because I'm going to add that to my bowl of ramen that I'm going to make. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. Yeah, Esther, definitely. I don't know how to do the subs yet, so like I said, I'm real new about all this. So talk to me later. I'm going to game after this so we can go over that and you can help me out. Indonesian ramen, and you add spices and flavorings after you boil. Yeah, so that's basically what we're doing today. So we're going to boil the ramen, and then we're making the sauce, and then you add the sauce in afterwards. So that's the exact process for one of the types of ramen we're making today. So yeah, it sounds like you're already really familiar with a lot of this stuff, which is really cool. I love that. It's too bad you're in Scandinavia, or I'd have you on the show. Maybe we could do like a virtual one, like you and I. I don't know if that's even possible on Twitch, is it? I think it is. That'd be really cool if not, wouldn't it? Okay, so. Me too, brother. I love food. Most chefs are. Okay, so let's do first things first. All right. So this thing was like $20 on Amazon. They're not giving me any kickbacks. I will always be upfront with you guys. I don't like shilling for companies. It's not that I'm against it, it's just I don't like doing it. Unless they're going to pay me a lot of money, I'm usually not going to do it. But if I ever do, I will let you know and be transparent if I'm getting kickbacks not, okay? Discord video crossover. That would be really cool. Like, I would love to have like 15 people on a Discord, like a big conference call. Everybody's on video and just cook and act funny and act stupid, you know? Wouldn't that be fun? Like virtual hangout where I'm cooking and other people are cooking and we're just kind of fucking around. That's a really good idea. That would be really fun. I'm going to add that to my list. Anyway, all right, so this thing is a non-mechanical one. There's nothing wrong with the mechanical ones. I just got this one because I wanted to try that out. It got good reviews. I've used it. It's amazing. This is considered an Asian knife. So there's a couple different things. So I'm not sure. Let's use this camera because this is the better camera. This one is Asian. This one is Euro-American. And then this is your finishing. Okay? Soba salad recipe. So one of the things that I'm moving personally into is more plant-based. I'm never going to replace meat in my diet because I really do, but I definitely don't get enough vegetables in my diet. And I almost treat them as an after effect. That's why I'm adding the broccoli in today because I want more vegetables in my diet. So I'm forcing them into it, especially green vegetables. Everybody should, and we just don't. Yeah, so all right, yeah, thanks for getting me back on track. Okay, so anyway, the difference is the angle of the blade. All right, so the Asian angles of the blade are usually about 15 degrees, and you can't see it because you got to get a really microscopic lens in order to see it. It's really cool if you ever do see that. It's fascinating to see what the blade looks like. A difference between a fucked up blade and a regular, nice aligned blade. So there's two things that you need to do whenever you're sharpening a blade. American blades have I think like a 30-degree angle. So this isn't considered an Asian one. So even though it's an American-made product, I got it from GFS, but it's considered an Asian blade. All right, so sharp blades are I have been cut so many times working in kitchens. Okay, I lost the tip of my finger. It was put back on. I have 7 stitches here. You're never going to see them on camera. They're so faint. But I have a U shape because the blade went in that way. So I've been cut to hell and back on my face. That's just part of working in a kitchen. It's going to happen. And on 9 times out of 10, it happens because you're not paying attention. The tip of my finger happened because I didn't use the claw. I had my finger hanging out here. We were fucking around in the kitchen. Butch was doing something stupid. And I had a too big group of chives that I was trying to mince up or chop up. And I didn't pay attention and went slop, cut right through it. Pain in the ass. So I taped it up with a medical tape and duct tape, and it looked like this big. I've actually got the picture of it, and I went back to work. I didn't even go to the hospital until later. I was just like, I gotta go to work. I can't miss my shift. All right, so is there any particular material or type of steel ideal for the blade, or is it just whatever cuts? It depends on your budget. So I have a ton of blades, right? And some of them are shit, and some of them are nice. So here's my small collection here, okay? So this is just the stuff that I normally cut with. This was my culinary school blade. This is a piece of shit. This is a GFS blade. This is considered an Asian blade. This is my baby. That's a very, very nice blade. This thing, because you can see, look. Let's take a look here. Let's show you the obvious differences between nice blades and shit blades. Okay? All right, so the other one I'm not going to pull out because it's my chef blade. First off, look where the blade ends and the hilt begins. Okay? This is considered the pommel, this is the hilt, and this is the tang, right? So the tang goes here and stops here. It does actually go in here, but we don't know how far in. So more than likely, it just kind of is a pinion that goes in like that. Same for this one. But here, look, the pommel is actually part of the tang. And even though this one in particular doesn't have the lines on the outside showing you how far it goes back, this piece right here is actually part of the same set of steel. I looked it up online. Same thing here. This is Japanese steel. Japanese steel is amazing and my favorite, but my dumbass dropped it and bent the tip. Such a dumbass. This one is a GFS blade. This one is a GFS blade. These are cheap. These are kitchen ready, very usable, but the full tang blade, Saki's right. the full tang is going to make it stronger and it's going to be of higher quality. This is the most common way you can tell, but that's not always the way. There is, like this one, even though this is a shit blade, take a look. The tang goes all the way through. You got these 3 bolts holding the black plastic on it. So you would think on the outset that this is a really nice blade. The only difference, I mean, it was forged. It's a stamp, obviously. You know, it's just a big stamp. It's forged is what made it cheap, and I looked it up online what they actually do. So the quality of the steel on this one is just, it's too soft and doesn't hold an edge for very long. Thank you, Taki Pins. So the rest of them, though, this one and this one, this one and this one are the quality blades. These were about 100, 150 a pop, which isn't like, you can go really super expensive, but my budget, this was a Christmas gift, my budget was just not there, but this was definitely worth it. So these hold blades edges for a very long time. That's also the other indicators. How long do you not need to go to this and you only use this? This isn't for sharpening, this is for aligning the blade, okay? Making sure that your edges, that V that comes down, that you can't see them under, unless you got a nice camera lens, that V is like that. So let me, here. So let's do it here. All right, so if we're looking at a blade straight on, right? If it's a perfect V looking like that, that means it's aligned. If it's not aligned, then it looks something like that, right? One edge is not equal to the other. They're not perfectly making that V. That's what this is for. That lines them up. It's not sharpening it, it's aligning it. This sharpens it. This aligns it. You do this after that, and this on every time you reuse the knife. So if I go, you don't need to do it if you wash it, but like the next day when I come back and cook, I'm going to do this again, and then I'll do this and this. Until even when I do this, the blade still doesn't seem like it's losing its edge and it's not cutting as well, which is where this is at today, because this will be the first time in almost 3 or 4 months that I've needed to use that to cut it, okay? All right, I'm rambling here, sorry about that. Anyway, knives you can go down a rabbit hole with. You don't need, like I said, those GFS blades, fucking awesome, love them. They're only like 20 bucks a pop, and I swear by them. So it's just Damascus steel, yeah. So it just depends on if you're really into it and you got the budget for it, have fun, play with it. But it's not necessary. Like I said, this is a GFS blade. It was 20 bucks. I fucking love this thing. I love GFS, and this is what we use in kitchens because you just grind them down and you throw them out and you get a new one. That's what you're doing in a kitchen. Whereas home chefs and stuff like that, yeah, it's nice to get the really nice steel because it's nice steel. All right, enough. Let's get the cutting board going here. Okay, so, oh man, it's been too long. Hold on. Damn, that's good. It needs a little more vodka, though. There we go. I'm going to finish that off today. I know it. All right, so we're going to use the first one on this one. Basically, you're going to hold it and pin it in place with this one. You put about 5 pounds of pressure on it, and you just saw back and forth. So I read the instructions on this one, but this particular one, I'm only going to need about 10 saws back and forth because this is very, very, very sharp, okay? And then, yeah, they are very good. This is GFS, very good cheap knives. All right, then over here, same thing, probably 2 to 5. Make sure you go all the way to front to back. I always like to get the tip just a little bit more just because I do use the tip a lot to cut. Now, this is sharpened, okay? At least according to the manufacturer's mark. I've never used that thing before. This is the first time using it. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to align the blade. So, basically, there's a couple ways to do it. When you first start out, the best way to do it would be to hold this thing down here and then come down this way because now you're holding it and you're keeping it. Don't slam it into the ground, okay? The other way to do it is this way. Hand is behind the hilt, so you don't slice up your fingers, okay? The guard is there for you. I'm holding it at an awkward angle so you guys can see. Normally I'd hold it out like this. But that's it. You only need a couple swipes, and that should align the blade, and it should be fine. Now, because I ground it, I'm going to wash it because there's going to be dust on there, okay? I can even see it from here, so you want to make sure you wash that off. Plus, I need to get my sink of water going here. And we got to wash our chicken off and finally get cooking. There we go. Okay. Now, I'll cut some stuff here in a minute. We'll know if it worked, but that should be fine. That's how you sharpen a knife. I like the, I used to have a whetstone, which is like the really cool old school way to do it, but you know, I mean, I tried for like a month to get good at that thing. I could not get good at it. It's really cool because you feel like, I felt like Conan, you know, when he's sharpening his blade, you know, that's basically what you're doing, but for some reason I couldn't get an edge on it. I just don't know what I was doing wrong. I was doing something wrong because it's just a whetstone, but I was doing something and I just couldn't figure it out. So I don't know, I gave up. In my opinion, you're better off getting good, comfortable knives one at a time than a mediocre knife set with, yeah, like Cutco, don't go Cutco. It's not. No, that's fine. That's the point of this thing, is to get feedback and talk with you guys. I don't want to ignore you and just do my own thing. That's what a normal cooking show is like, right? That's what you watch on TV. I'd rather have the interaction. Yeah, I am too. It was just a question of budget and money. You know, I had some really nice ones a long time ago, but I lost them through some tragedy. But yeah, I really like them. I actually really like regular knives. Like I used to have some well, they were imitation, but samurai swords, and katanas and wakizashis, but they weren't real. Those things are like, you know, $100,000 for one of them, if you're lucky. Okay, let's get our chicken. I don't need to wash it too much because this is what I washed on Wednesday, but I'm going to do it again because it's been sitting in a bag. Yeah, let's get going. This food is not going to take long to cook, guys. That's why I added in the extra things today, just to add some time. Because, I mean, if you think about it, we're just boiling noodles and sauteing chicken. So that's kind of all we're doing. Remember to clean it out because we just had chicken in there. There we go. Okay. That one's done. Let's get our chicken over here. Over here. Here, and here. Let me clean up my mess. Limited space means I gotta clean while I go. Actually, you should clean while you go anyway. It makes the rest of your day easier. Why, when you're done cooking, why be tired and have to do a ton of dishes versus being tired and only need to do 2 to 3 dishes? Seriously, that's just clean as you go. I love my mom, but when she's done cooking, it looks like, even like she just made scrambled eggs, she has to use every pot in the kitchen. And there's like 50 dishes to do. Yeah, Ginsu knives. It slices, it dices, it even does julienne fries. If anybody's played Vermintide with me long enough, they'll hear me say that. Oh, yes. Oh, she's so sharp. Oh, that's erotic. Not gonna lie. All right. We'll flatten these out too, because we are sauteing them. Again, rib meat is not, you don't need to throw the rib meat away. I'm just not going to use it because I'm being lazy. I don't really want to mess with it, so I'm not gonna bother. In a restaurant, we would never throw that away. That's money. You can do something with it. Rib meat's got a little dark meat on it, so not much, but it's going to have a little more flavor. You guys got anything we should try to cook next week besides the salmon and the pork? I mean, I've got plenty of things to do with pork, especially pork tenderloin, pork loin. Really cool things that we can do with each one of those things. You know what? Let's butterfly. Let me show you how to butterfly these things. What was I going to do? A hammer. Well, I don't need the hammer if we're going to butterfly. Let me show you how to butterfly. So one of the things that we do, that's right, that's flavor. Fat is flavor, rule number 1. One of the things that if you guys were here, I think on Wednesday, I do it every time we use chicken, is that we'll flatten out these things so that they cook a little more evenly. But one of the ways to make it do that is also to butterfly it, which is what we're going to do here. So butterflying is useful because we can stuff it if we wanted to, you know, and then you roll it up. So to do that, let's take a drink. Oh fuck, I got chicken guts on my hand. Hold on. That's the other reason I got a sink full of soapy water. Oh, it's better with the extra vodka. Okay. All right. So when you're doing it, you want to make sure that you come at it. Here, let me get a better angle for you here, because I want you to see what I'm talking about, and then I'll do it here. So, all right, switch this. Okay, so you put it on the edge, right? I don't need the flash on. You put it on the edge. I'll hold it down like you saw, right? But then you're going to come at it flat. This is going to be even with this, so that you can come at it this way. You're going to saw your way through, feeling the tip of the blade find its way through, and then after you get so far, then you can do this scooping motion to get, because you don't want to cut all the way through, and you don't want to go down, because then you're going to have holes in it, okay? So let's try it out here, because I can't do it two hands. I need a third hand, right? Okay, so you want it close to the edge of this thing so that you can get inside the meat here, so yeah. Perfect. All right, then you open it up. Now, we've opened it up, but there's still this ridge in here, so that's when we're going to carve it. So you're just doing this downward motion right along the line that you just cut until you get it all the way down. There we go. Perfect. So went a little too far through on that one, but that's okay. When it cooks, it'll come in together. But that's it. So that's a butterfly chicken. We're not going to do anything with it today, but what you can do with that is that you can add whatever you want. You can stuff it with like some sun-dried tomato, goat cheese, and pine nuts or something. You know, that you can go nuts with this thing on the inside of this thing. My favorite is actually pistachios, goat cheese, and bacon. Oh, so good. Yeah, always. 100% cleanliness is king. Nothing like some E. coli. Yeah, my fiance is a microbiologist, and she does food testing in a lab, so she comes home and tells me, she's like, the whole lab smells like yeast. Go nuts, roll credits. Thanks for coming. Bye, see ya. All right, so that's how you butterfly. All right, let's do it 2 more times. Now, the downside of that is now instead of putting 3 of these flattened in a pan, I have to do them maybe 1 or 2 at a time, so it's going to take a little longer to cook. But it opens up options, so just letting you know. This allows us, we're doing it today so that it cooks a little more evenly. That's mainly what we want to do here. Perfect. There we go. There's 2. Now we're going to season them on the inside and the outside, just like we would if it wasn't butterflied. But it would just be top to bottom. Perfect. Looks like a little heart. Cool. All right. Let's season them. Let's get a pan going, get some heat on it, and we'll start boiling water for our egg and our noodles. We'll have to do some of this stuff in batches just because I don't have enough burners. You can see my, oh, you know what? Let me fix the camera on this. My apologies. It should have been fixed by now. There we go. I don't have, you can see my oil from the other day, from Wednesday when we made the egg rolls. Those were so good, by the way. Holy crap, man. They were just fucking fire. Remember to pinch and hold about 1 foot above whatever you're spreading this over so it gets a more even coat. Okay? Now, this is the Szechuan flavored chicken. Okay. You marinate them. Is that common when making ramen? No, you can do whatever you want. Like, this is just a quick and dirty way to do it. Like, I'm keeping it super simple. As this thing goes on, I'll get more and more complicated because I'll have more and more money to be able to do this. But this is for, you know, I ain't got $2 to rub together. I just need something other than bland chicken. So that's what we're doing today. So it's Szechuan flavor. But yes, you are totally right. More flavor will be imparted if you use marinade. So that's what you want to go with. Hold on a sec. My phone's blowing up and I don't want it to. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. There we go. That's Fish posting in the Discord. All right, so let me pull out our other ingredients. So I'm going to show you what I'm adding. It's not traditional by any means. So we're going to use garlic powder, onion powder, adobo, because I'm a freak for that shit, salt and pepper, and then this stuff. Szechuan, I have such a hard time saying it, especially as I'm getting drunk. Szechuan seasoning. Kind of wish burner stoves were more common in the kitchen here, but a popular thing is after induction. Yeah, I hate anything but burners. Burners, you have instant heat. You don't have to wait for it to heat up or anything like that. I actually cooked for a 50-person wedding party in June, and one of the dishes didn't get made because, one, this lady's got a rich house, but her kitchen, while it looked pretty, nothing was functional. Even though I came over there like a week before and I'm like, okay, this is cool, we'll use this and this. She had induction burners, electric burners beneath a glass top. So that was just like, it took forever for this thing to get hot, and they just wouldn't get hot enough. And I even had a stock pot. Stock pots traditionally have very thin bottoms, so they heat up real quick. That thing just would not get hot. I put it on there for 20 minutes. That food was going to be late even if I got it done, man. Oops. My pan was smoking. That's what I get for talking. We're going to let that cool down for a minute. I don't want to add any oil, or since it's the pan smoking, if I added oil, especially olive oil, because it's got a low smoke point, it would ignite. No, I used the burners, just wouldn't put any heat on it because anyway. And then her oven wouldn't heat. Like, it was just really weak. And I'm like, lady, you've got a $500,000 home. Why can't you spend at least a decent amount of money on your kitchen? Anyway, it was my fault because I should have had it done before I even came there. But I was like, okay, well, just to give it, because I was 20 minutes away, I figured, let's not make the food cold. Let's get it fresh as possible. So I'll cook 2 or 3 of the dishes there. And yeah, one of the dishes, the potatoes, I wasn't able to get it done. So I just was so mad at myself and panicking at the same time. Anyway, all right. All steel kitchen? Not necessarily. You're totally right. I mean, the ceramic, though, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, yeah, steel's easier to clean. That's why professional kitchens are like that. But I don't want a steel kitchen at home. That just is ugly as hell. I want it to be aesthetically pleasing. I definitely want steel appliances, but I don't need like the steel back. Steel hood, obviously, but I don't need a steel back. I'd do some nice aesthetic thing in the back. I'm in an apartment, so it's whatever they got, and I actually got lucky with this apartment. But anyway, all right. Sorry, rambling. Can you tell I like to talk? Damn, maybe it's just because it's ginger. All right, so let's add the Szechuan in here. Just a nice liberal coat, even. All right. I've done this before, the adobo. It does pair well with this, but it is not necessary at all. But man, it tastes good. I don't want to overload it though. My fiance loves to drown her shit. She makes some fire chicken wings, man. I wish I could get her on camera. She'd be so funny. You think I'm entertaining. Oh my God, that girl. But she's incredibly private, and I respect her for that, so. Yeah, I like wood, but wood's hard to keep clean, really. Granite's the way to go. My mom had granite countertops. Oh my God, I love cooking in her kitchen. She got mad at me because I'd cut right on the granite, and I'm like, it's granite. She's like, yeah, but you're nicking it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's granite. You can just, polish it. All right, so I'm going to flip these over. I'm not going to use this hand because this hand I'm going to dip into my salt. So let's pat it down so we don't lose those sesame seeds, and the part of the Szechuan would fall out. So we want to make sure they don't do that. Okay, there we go. All right, since I'm done rambling, let me put my pan back on over here. So I already know it's hot, so we're going to add the oil this time. So we had a huge argument. You ever noticed the arguments you have with your significant other, the big ones, the big blowouts, with exception, are the ones over stupid shit? And I call them bar arguments, not bar fights because that's a different connotation, but bar arguments. If you're arguing with your friends in a bar and you're drunk and you're arguing over whether Captain America was really a Hydra agent or not, just dumb things, but you're so passionate about it. But when it's at home in a personal argument, it's always over something stupid, like why did you make I don't know. I'm trying not to pick on something that actually happened with my fiance, but why do you like banana peppers over oranges? I don't know, something stupid, So we had this huge freaking argument, 2 hours. 2 hours. And I got to get this going or I'm going to burn that pan again. Well, going on and on about Pompeian oil and whether or not there was truth in their advertising. Is it actually 100% grapeseed oil? And she was saying no. And I'm like, well, the FDA, you know, I was backing the FDA on this one, saying that if it says it's 100% grapeseed oil, it's 100% grapeseed oil. We argued for 2 hours. She finally found proof, and not from some junk website, but found enough proof and evidence to convince me that I was wrong. And I had to eat that. And I'm just like, I was so mad, but I'm just like, damn. And that's what the olive oil I got is Pompeian right now. I'm going to keep using it because I got it, but I'm just like, never again. I was so mad. I was so mad. I hate being wrong, man. All right, this is done. We're going to put our display side down first. You always put the display side down first. She did. That was how she found it. But it was from like Health News Today or holisticnutrition.com, you know, junk websites. But she finally found a couple NIH.gov websites. I'm like, and FDA lawsuits against Pompeian. And I'm like, all right, you're right. That's enough evidence for me to believe you. So I'm using a small pan. So you always want to make sure, burn myself a little bit, you always want to make sure you place it away because the oil that just did splash up splashes away from me and not towards me. That way I don't get burned, okay? Very, very important. Okay, more drinking. I prefer wine, but this is still really good. Okay, next, let's get some water going for our poached egg. I'm also going to get some water going because I want to boil off that broccoli because that's going to take a hot minute. Let's get this out of the way. I'm running out of space, yo. So, how to poach an egg. There are plenty of ways to do it. I'm going to show you the way I learned in a kitchen. Let me clean up my mess first because I'm going to need to use this. That was last week, and I'm still salty about it. I was so convinced I was right, but I was not right. Don't date a smart woman, gentlemen. That's the lesson here. Date the dumb ones. I'm being facetious. Being wrong is upsetting because it feels like you're under attack, but also means you correct. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little bit of hubris and humility. You know, it's hubris to think that I'm right, even though I'm not right, and then it's humility when I'm proven wrong, but to accept that graciously, and that's where it's at. And I told her, I was like, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. You know, I apologized honestly for it, and we were fine. And she'll be sitting on that for at least a week. I know she will. All right. Does it include, yes, no, not heat-resistant plastic wrap, no need for that. But we are going to use white vinegar, okay? This is to create a different pH balance so that the egg does what we want it to do, okay? So you don't need much. So for the pan we're going to use maybe a tablespoon, because you don't want it to taste like vinegar, right? We just need the vinegar to create a different it's acidic value. So the acidity is what's going to keep the egg together. And then we're also going to stir it while it's boiling. We need to get it to a roiling boil, which means, you know, big boil. Then we're going to add the vinegar. Then we're going to stir it. Then we'll crack our egg into the water, and then we're just going to keep stirring it. And I'll let you guys see all this. Don't worry. But we're going to keep stirring it. It only takes like a minute or two. I'll let you know when it's done. Then you're going to use a spoon and pull it out and set it to the side, and that's it. It only takes a few minutes once the water's ready. And you can reuse that water too. Yeah, this is the easiest way to make a poached egg. My grandma used to use a thing where they would have a saucepan with a straight back, right? And then this was this insert with 3 holes in it. Or I think there's maybe 4 holes in it. And you would crack the egg, you would fill it with water, and you'd crack the egg into that. And it was like a form pan. And it would just put it in there. That's kind of what the Egg McMuffin looks like, you know, that perfectly circle egg. Yeah. But this is the home way to do it. 3 to 5 minutes, it just depends. So one of the things that I went over my first one, and I'll do it again here too. I'm not asking you to go back and watch that again. And I'll make edited videos of this stuff too, is that you want to look for the white spot here. See how the white is starting to crawl up the side? That's what you're looking for. That's fine. Now because we butterflied it, it's going to cook really quick. I have mine at about 4, so just below medium is where I want it. Now, let's do this. This is what I like doing. You don't have to, but this is going to add calories, but man, it's worth it. We're going to baste it a little bit. Going to add some of this butter up in this bitch. Now, because of this, I'll probably have to drain it off each time just because the butter will burn if it's in there for too long. But, check this out, man. So, let's get that thing burning here. Oh my God, it smells so good. So with oil, tablespoon of any oil, regardless if it's healthy oil or not healthy oil, is going to be 120 calories for 1 tablespoon. Butter is only 100 because it's 80% milk solids. Okay, so it's fewer calories. It's not as healthy fat though. There's a lot of saturated fat in it, so that's why that's why it gets a bad rap. But you know, a little bit is okay. 1 tablespoon. I mean, come on, man. So let's see. Can you guys see this? Yeah. Cool. All right. So we're gonna tilt the pan, scoop it up, keep it tilted. That's okay. Basically, you're just putting the hot oil over the top to help it cook. Okay. And then, of course, it'll run off after a while. Plus, you'll get more from the chicken as it's cooking, but it adds more flavor to it as well. So, 100%, highly recommend it. But that's only if you have the calories for it. If you're not worried about those calories, then go for it. Go nuts, man. Seriously. Let me get some more butter up here. I need to add butter to my list, my last stick. Going grocery shopping tonight when the fiance comes home. She was just like, can we go grocery shopping? That girl likes her food. And when she don't get her food, she gets so mad. How hard is it to poach an egg? I love Archer. This is why we have ants. Paula D looking ass. Oh my God, that's cold, man. Why you gotta call me out like that? That racist bastard. That girl made a sandwich. She made a burger that had donuts as the bread. Holy shit, man. That was so bad. I saw that and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? You do not look like anybody that needs to be adding donuts to a burger. I am way behind on my drinking. Violently American. At least Southern American, definitely. Ooh. The North doesn't have the Midwest, yes, but North. So one of the things that I took, Lutz burger, yeah, she definitely did. Good reference. I took American cuisine, and there's actually 5 parts for non-Americans. There's 5 parts of America that have their own regional cuisine. There's New England, which is like Maine, that northern tip there, you know, near Canada. The northeastern point there, that's New England. They have their own type of food, which is mostly white food. Not like white people, but the color white. Like their food is devoid of a lot of flavor, mainly because it's mostly seafoods. So clam chowder, think like clam chowder. That's a New England dish. And delicious if you can actually go up there to get it. Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, it's nothing but water right there, right? Then you go down to the side, down in the coastal region, down towards Florida, and then all the way over to Texas. That's the American South. That's Southern cuisine. That's what my fiance is really good at. Black culture, they're real good with Southern cuisine, no matter where they're at. So that's going to be deep fried everything, collard greens, that kind of stuff. Fried chicken, chicken and waffles, that stuff. That's Southern cooking. Very, very. Oh yeah, how'd you like it? Kaki's been to New Orleans? How was that? Because I've only been there twice, and it was gorgeous. I wouldn't want to live there, but it was gorgeous. Southern cuisine is real heavy, real fatty. That's what you're thinking of when you think of American food. And then the Southwest, which is like kind of California over New Mexico, Arizona, Texas. That's heavily influenced by Mexico and Mexican cuisine, Latin cuisine, but with an American take on it. So we consider that Southwest. A lot of black beans and that kind of stuff, and that's where your Texas barbecue and stuff like that happens. Hold on one second. This should be done. Yes, it is. Look at that. You know what? I'm gonna try it out. I think we're okay. Let's see what happens. I think the heat's not high enough to burn my butter anymore. Soul food, yeah, basically soul food is almost synonymous with Southern cuisine. It's just got a black culture tint to it. Then there is Pacific Northwest, which is unless you've been there, most people don't know what it is. That's going to be very similar to Scottish food, actually. It's very heavy, very hearty, because the Pacific Northwest, gorgeous. It's one of the places my fiance and I are looking to possibly move to. Gorgeous area, but a lot colder and rainier than most of the rest of the U.S., so they need stuff that's going to keep them longer, so it's heavier food, but not necessarily unhealthier, just heavier. Like, it sits in your stomach for a long time. Think like flapjacks, that kind of thing. And then most of America is actually where I'm at, is the fucking Midwest. So that's your comfort food, that's your chicken pot pie, your lots of chicken, and lots of corn. You know, that's traditional American cuisine is also considered, you know, the Midwest, because that's most of America. Proportionally, size-wise, that's the biggest chunk of America. Population-wise, it's actually the smallest chunk of America. But that's generally what you think of when you think of American food. All right, so that's your history lesson on American food. Seafood corner, been in New Orleans, soul food is beautiful there. I have to admit the U.S. is very familiar, but I feel so alien at the same time. You know what? I've been living here my whole life. I feel the same way. Portlandia. That's a really funny show, actually. All right, where are we at? All right, let's check our water. It's taking a sweet time. Let's get some water for our broccoli. Now I'm going to mince up this broccoli really tiny because I want to add it to my ramen. And actually, you can add carrots to this. Spinach. I don't have any spinach, but spinach or kale would be a bit, well, maybe not kale. I've seen kale added to it, but kale is incredibly tough. You really do need to boil that for like 5 minutes for that thing to even be edible. But like spinach would be great. Baby spinach would be awesome for the ramen dish. It's a way to get you more greens into your diet. And baby spinach doesn't have a really strong flavor, so you could add that in there. Like if you're new to adding vegetables to your diet, baby spinach is a really good way to go. Really easy way to get in and add vegetables to your diet. All right, that one's good. I'm gonna turn my heat up just a little bit on my chicken. I'm gonna give that just another minute. That chicken is fucking phenomenally good. Oh my God, I can smell it. It smells so good. Midwest white bread America, 100%. Fuck yes. Astro, you better be ready to kill some rats after this, brother. Some Vermintide 2 action. All right. While we got time, I'm not going to boil up the ramen just yet because I need another burner and another pot. So let's get our broccoli prepped, and then we'll move on to our sauce. Give me a bowl. So, it's up to you. Yeah, oh yeah, sauteed spinach, garlic, just a hint of butter in there, some olive oil, salt and pepper. Ooh, all day, baby, all day. That works really good in a quiche, too. Would you guys be interested in learning quiche recipes? Because I've got a ton of those. Those are really nice. One of the things I like about ramen is the fact that it's so easy to play with like it's a blank slate. You just need a protein source. And you could do pork or beef in it really easily. I'm going to cut these up into very small pieces, okay? Like this. All right, this is much smaller than I would normally do if I was just eating it on my own. But remember, I'm adding this to my ramen, so it needs to be much smaller than normal. So I'm going to cut off the root here. All right, so we're gonna rough chop it. One of the ways to do chopping is, if you can see, and you know, some people are gonna already know. I assume Taki knows how to do this, but you hold, this is your fulcrum, you hold this to work your way through whatever you're working on. Hold on, Astor, I'll read what you wrote in just a second, brother. Idea for the stream, Drum Cooking World Tour, where each week a different place around the world. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah, and I would really, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know everything, not even close, because cooking is a lifelong adventure, but I'm very familiar with Latin cuisine. Like my buddy Peter, I'm trying to get him on the show, but he's shy. He's very good at Indian cuisine. You can smell, this needs to be pushed over. There we go, there we go. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. My buddy Peter is very good at Indian cuisine, much more so than I am. I just have not had a chance to dive too deeply into it. I know a couple curry recipes, but they're very basic. I want to bring him in on it. You know, I would love for like people that I'm not good with. Like I'm okay with Asian cuisine, normal Asian cuisine, but I mean, consider there's 1 billion people in China, and even the United States has 5 different areas. How many geographical food areas does China have? You know? Szechuan province is where we get, you know, the Szechuan flavors from. That's not all of China. That's Szechuan, you know. They're a different area. Don't think General Tso's is Chinese, by the way. That's a New York recipe. But anyway, I would love to do that. That's a really good idea. We could get people on the show and have them come in here and teach me how to do it. Like, I'm a good cook. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm not, but I'm never going to say I know everything. Come on now. So these are really big. Yeah, that's what she said. Anyway, there we go. Let's get these a little bit more. You know, I guess this is close to what you get in the freezer bag of broccoli. Which, by the way, freezer, flash frozen vegetables, nothing wrong with them. In fact, technically, they're going to be fresher than fresh vegetables, believe it or not, because they're flash frozen, which is different than a normal freeze. They are cryogenically frozen. They are exposed to extreme cold. I think it's like negative 100 degrees Celsius or something like that, so that they freeze almost immediately, so that the crystals, the ice crystals, can't get into the cell structure and shred them like they would. That's why you never freeze the vegetables, right, on your own. Meat can handle it, but vegetables can't, which is also why you don't refreeze meat. All right, let's check. Perfect, that's done. I'm gonna add a little more oil. Give that a second to come up to temp. All right, our water, I think, is good. So let's start, where's my vinegar at? Here it is. We're gonna start poaching our egg. Perfect. All right, don't need much, just a little. Cool, cool. That one's good. Perfect. All right, let's crack our egg and get to work. Never crack the egg on the side of the pan, okay? All right, let's get it spinning. Don't hit the egg, okay? It should just whiten up almost immediately. We do not want our yolk to cook. That's why we're not going to leave it in there very long. Oh wow, it looks so good. All right, let's keep that going. You can't leave this alone. You got to watch it, okay? Because you got to keep the speed up. It doesn't need to be like, it doesn't need to be a whirlpool. You do need to keep the speed up a little bit, though. It's got to keep moving, because if it stops, it's going to rest on the bottom and get stuck. Why are you biting me, man? That chicken just smells so good. See how quickly it slows down? I think we got enough time to get a drink, yeah? Anime ramen? I think I saw there's another chef I follow that she does a lot of Final Fantasy recipes. Weirdly enough, but yeah, I think I've seen that. I want to say it was on TikTok. So they've got 5 too. Very interesting that America has 5 and China has 5. Very interesting. Taki, I like it. You're bringing me all this knowledge, man. That's really cool. All right, this should be done. So I would normally use, yeah, we want to use a slotted spoon if we've got it, which I actually have one. It's going to be a lot bigger, but oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, I'll bring it over to the camera, don't worry. Okay, let me dump this out. Okay, now I'm not going to cut it open because I don't want to do it yet, but I will later. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter, I guess. You want me to cut it open now or later? Because if we cut it open now, it's not going to look as good on our... I'm going to cut it open now, just because it's so fun to watch it bleed out. So if anybody's ever had a Good Morning burger, which is what I think this is going to happen to this recipe, is the egg yolk, which is really fatty, but it's really good fat, is going to bleed all over our ramen. Look at that. Wow, perfect. That's what it's supposed to do right there. I'll scrape that into our ramen, just so I don't have to make another one, because I already dumped my water out. But that's what you want. The outside's cooked, the white, the albumin, but the yolk. Oh wow, that looks so good. So let's see if that adds some depth of flavor to our recipe. All right, now that I got a burner freed up, I'm gonna get some more water going for our ramen. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna wash up that dish I just used. We'll use this to make our ramen in. We're almost done. It's all coming together. Come on now. Steel wool, I love you. Abba Zabba, you're my only friend. All right, we don't need water. We do not need water. Let's put this away. Clean up your mess. Broccoli's done. We're gonna do our scallions next, but that's a garnish almost. The ramen over here. Oh, here, let's check this out. So this is what these look like. So everybody knows what everybody knows what regular ramen looks like. So this doesn't look quite as weird as the other ones, but it's very similar. But this is going to be just much, it's not nearly as processed. This is what we're using today. I've used a couple of them already. So there's 4 in a pack of these. So these are, I highly recommend those. All right, so let me move this out of the way. Put you over here. I'm going to turn this off because that's almost done. Stock. So instead of water, we're going to use chicken stock to boil our ramen with, okay? This is the ramen that we're making right now. Is going to be, we're eating it right now ramen, okay? This is not something that, okay, I'm going to take it with me to work. No. If you're cooking the ramen, you got to eat it right now. So this is what we're doing with this one. So we're going to add about 2 cups. Normally we could use, you know what, I'm going to add more. We need it to cover our ramen so that it cooks. Normally I would add, I want my minced ramen, regular garlic, and we could saute it. But we're not going to do that today, we don't need to. But I am going to add it right away. God, it smells so good. Just a tablespoon. We don't want to overload it. We're going to bring that up to a boil, then we'll add our stock to it. I'm just going to move all this off here. All right, so you want to use the claw and cut these very small. Use your knuckles to guide it so you have more even cuts, okay? I love scallions. Green onions, all day. Chives too, honestly. Perfect. Let me get a bowl for that. Those are garnish, so they're gonna put that in at the end. If you're gonna use spinach, you put that at the end too. You don't want it to cook too long. So the things that cook very quickly, you don't want to add them in ahead of time. You want to add them in at the end. And part of cooking is knowing when to add things in and when not to, okay? And this is one of the things we don't want to add it in right away. Okay, so I've had some fresh ginger, but apparently not. So we're going to use some ground ginger. I thought I had, here we go, some ground ginger for our sauces today, okay? I might add more garlic. I love ginger. Because I'm a ginger. Mungo! What's up, brother? I think it was 2 ounces. Thanks. Yeah, I love this knife. GFS, 20 bucks, 100%. Yeah, I know, sorry. You can go back and watch it. I'm not going to go over it again. All right, this is done. Cool. And my water is boiling for my broccoli. Pro tip, add the soap in the hot water while it's still hot. It'll pull that up. This is a non-stick pan, so I can't use steel wool to get it up, so I'm going to need to use that. One of the things that I absolutely hate messing with is brown sugar when it comes to baking, like, you know, candied bacon or what's the other one? Sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving with the brown sugar and cinnamon. When you bake it, any kind of sugar, it just becomes hard and crystallized. Oh my God, it sucks to get it up. And an easy way to do that is the sheet pan that you made it on. You put some soapy water in there and you put it back in the oven at about 200 degrees and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes and then pull it out and then wash it. It'll pull up all that stuff off of there. It's a really easy way to get it. You're still going to need to use steel wool though. Great lighting, very crisp candles. I'm really. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Still got to get rid of the white noise. Astro's going to help me get rid of the white noise because I think what it is, Astro, is because it's coming in through a stereo jack on the side of my my laptop. So I'm trying to get rid of that hissing sound. So. Hot damn, that's good. Don't worry, we're going to go for number 2. We're almost done with that one. All right, broccoli. Do Gordon Ramsay. Broccoli in. Normally broccoli takes about a minute and a half to cook. It's not even going to take that today because they're so tiny. I cut them so small. So it's not going to, we got to watch that really quick. All right, let's see. All right, that's coming up to temp. As soon as it's out of the boil, we'll add our noodles to it. And then we'll cook the noodles. We're going to add a few more ingredients to it. I don't want to add, well, you know what? We could add it now. So we need the ginger. Normally, I'd have about 3 teaspoons of ginger, of ground ginger. So we'll do about that much. If you don't know how much of an ingredient to add the smaller amount. Don't go high on it. Because you can always adjust the flavor, but if you've added too much, then you're fucked. About a tablespoon of sesame oil. Sesame oil, a little goes a long way. Seriously, it's amazing, but don't overdo it on that. All right, let's check this out. I don't need that. Good grief. Oh, it smells so good. I haven't added any salt and pepper left. The salt and pepper we will adjust last. Let's take a look at our chicken, man. Look at this sexy beast. I mean, besides me. Care, how are you? Okay. Look at that. Does that not look so good? I mean, that's sexy right there. Let's take our first piece because you need to let the meat sit so that the water redistributes. So one of the things that happens when you apply heat to protein is that wherever the heat source is at, right? It's below, it comes up, right? So the heat source is below the meat, the water runs away from the meat. So it's gonna go to the top of the meat. Then we flip it and then it's gonna do the reverse. So, Missy Elliott song just popped in my head. So whenever you take it off of that, all of the water is at the top of the meat. And you need it to redistribute. So that the water is really overly moist and the bottom is really dry. So we want that water to redistribute. That's why you let whatever protein, steak, chicken, pork, whatever, that's why you let it sit almost as long as it took to cook it. Unless we're talking about roasting, and then you only probably need to let it sit for about a half hour. You know, you don't want to let a turkey sit for 3 hours because you cooked it for 6. All right, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. We don't want to boil this down. I do want to add our, give me 1 second. Let's add our, here we go, ramen. Perfect. Let's clean up our mess a little bit. Loving you. Astro, did you see that video I posted? I tagged you in it. It's easy cause you're beautiful and everything that you do. Ah! Alright. I got a small kitchen, so I got to clean up as we go. Alright, so chicken done. Broccoli should be done. Let's pull it out. Because my broccoli pieces are so small, instead of a colander, we're gonna use a sieve, okay? Because of the mesh. Alright? And you're gonna need, I'm gonna need some of these here. We don't want it to turn into mush. Oh, I grabbed one side without the mitts. Dumbass! Ooh, watch the steam. The steam will boil you too. Or burn you rather, sorry. Boil you, nice. There we go, there we go. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna let this sit. That way I don't burn my countertop because it's just formica. All right, perfect. I'm good, how are you, Care? Let's see, I have to pretend the meeting is, I'm eating some chili. Oh, that's what I should make, some chili. I mean, it's really hot. It sucks to eat chili sometimes in the summer because it's so hot. Yeah, I got a lot of really good burger recipes too. Just turn on Food Network, do the same. So, Care, my buddy Alberto, he's a bodybuilder, massive guy. He's like 6'2", and on off season he's 270. Competition, he's sitting at 230. So he's a fucking big dude, right? What he does to himself while he's prepping, because bodybuilders have a very severe diet, especially the closer they get to their competition day, is that he'll watch Food Network while he's dieting. He can't eat any of this stuff. He can't even eat what we're making today. He's that strict. They regulate their salt intake. They have their food is very, very bland just to look like that. So he's basically torturing himself. I asked him, I was like, dude, are you like masturbating to the Food Network? I mean, what's going on here, brother? He wouldn't answer me. Hot damn, that's good. Let's do another. Oh yeah, Berto, that's his goal in life. That man wants to be on stage, and he has. He's been there for years now, but he wants to be an IFBB pro. I dedicate his dedication. I can't do it. I wanted to do a bodybuilding show back when I first became a personal trainer, but life did not take me in that direction. And to this day, I don't think I have the dedication to do it, to be honest. Yeah, well, it was given to me. My parents gave me this Pinnacle vodka. It's in a plastic container, but It's free, so I'm not going to turn it down. This stuff, though, burritos, that's some good ginger beer. Like I said, it makes me a cannibal, right? Oh, come on now, we can do better than that. I'm almost done with it. Well, I mean, I'll do a shot later, but I don't want this to taste like vodka. Yeah, it's starting to taste too much like vodka, so I'm an alcoholic only within reason. All right, first, let's check on our ramen here. So as this cooks, it should start to separate. We want to help it along a little bit. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes for this to cook. Want those flavors to impart. I want to add some salt to it now. I don't know what the flavor is like, but I want to add some salt to make sure, because we don't want to wait to the end. So maybe just a pinch. All right, let's check the flavor on this. That's not bad. Definitely needs more garlic. Holy fuck, man. Not nearly enough of everything. I really underestimated. Like, I can taste the stock, but we need a lot more of everything else. Let's add another tablespoon of ginger. I think it's just because my ginger is old. When your ginger gets old, they start to lose their flavor. They can last about 6 months, which probably means I'm only going to add a teaspoon of that sesame oil, though. That stuff, like I said, a little goes a long way. Cilantro or lime would work real good here, too. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt. I don't want to overdo it on the salt. Oh, speaking of salt, all right, let me. Definitely got enough sesame oil. Needs more salt. Definitely needs more ginger. I can barely taste the ginger. I think that ginger is gone bad. I need to get some new ones. Dry herbs last about 6 months. We'll give that a second to let the flavors marry. Excuse me. High functioning alcoholic chef could. Maybe we could get like an anachronism for it. Yeah, oh yeah, so we're totally doing that. It's just a question of money and time. My buddy's got there actually is, by Wizard of the Coast, a D&D adventuring cookbook. And he's got it, and he's a chef too, my buddy Marco. I'm going to have him on here too. And we're going to do that, and we want to, Lord willing, we're going to do costumes, scenery, backdrops, everything. If anybody has ever seen Quincy's Tavern on TikTok, highly recommend it, by the way. We're going to do something similar to that. So we're going to have totally fun. So much fun with that. I would love to do that. Yeah, cool. Yes, sir. You done?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
See you later. That was the window guy. He fixed my window. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's cut our chicken up. Oh, it's so nice to have a sharp knife. And that looks good. Perfect. I'll give you a close-up. Oh, wow, that tastes really good. That Szechuan. And the butter. Woohoo! Wow, it's really good. Holy shit. Like, I don't think it's, I'm not trying to make it like it's hubris. I'm honestly surprised every time my food turns out well. So that's perfect. It's juicy. The flavor's there. That's fire. We're going to put that on top of our ramen. Wow, that's good. Holy shit, man. So damn good. Okay. Ah. Woo! That's a lot of vodka. All right, let's check our ramen here. Whew. Not bad. Maybe another minute. Let's add our scallions. So this is the bowl, okay? This is the one you're going to eat right away. Now when we're done, we're going to make the other one that is much more about meal prep, okay? Let's do this. I want to, hopefully you can see a little bit of this. Pull the noodles out first. Good. Perfect. All right. Don't worry, I'll get you guys a good look here in just a second. We want to get our egg next. Now, normally we'd crack it open right on this thing, but remember we did it earlier for presentation, so I want that yolk in there, man, because that shit's good. Okay, that one's good. All right, and then last but not least, just a little bit of the chicken. So I'd like to have some carrots over there and some spinach over here, but I don't have that, but I would recommend that 100%. It needs more greens. Check that out. That turned out so well. That is going to add so much depth of flavor to it because of the fat content in it. That's just going to be amazing to eat later. Holy crap. It already tasted good. Remember, balance your flavor first. Balance your flavor while you're making it. Consider it a soup. So when you're making a soup, and we'll do soups as well because I've got a couple like a chicken and chickpea soup. All soups are built the same. You do your aromats first, then you add your vegetables, then you add your protein if you're going to saute it in the pan, which you should, and then you add your chicken stock, and then you start balancing the flavor. So that's what we did here too. We just did a little bit in reverse because we didn't have all the other ingredients. We needed to balance the flavor. And the last thing you'll do is add salt and pepper. If I really wanted to fuck around, I'd add a pat of butter. And it's called mounting it in butter. I'd turn it off the heat and then add a little bit of butter. That would have added a ton of flavor. But I'm doing basically the same thing with that egg yolk. It should do the exact same thing in a healthier way too. So that looks amazing. Okay, so we've got... Let's move this out. Well, you know what? We'll leave that there so you guys can take a look at it. But I do need to move the chicken out of the way. Can you tell these are my presentation plates? All right, let me clean up my board just a little bit here. That's my boy Blue. All right, cool. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're basically just going to make, and I'll do it in this bowl here. This is the meal prep version, okay? Let me check here. Okay. Excited later. Yeah, it looks incredible. Yeah, that'd be really fun, wouldn't it? Carrie, you actually missed it. We were talking about doing like a huge like multi-video streaming, like a bunch of people on their own cameras and kind of virtual hangout kind of thing. And then everybody, you can cook along with me if you want, and we can just, you know, just hang out and cook and do it on camera and on stream. That would be really fun. That way you could eat your own food at the end. That would be really fun, wouldn't it? So good. All right, so let me get my other ingredients here. Need my brown sugar. Brown sugar, babe. I get high off your lovin'. I can't sing. Okay. All right, so you know what? As much as I like seeing that, we got to move you out of the way. Eventually, I'll get a top-down view of the cutting board, but that requires, my fan is right above me, so we got to work around that. All right, so the key ingredient on this one is this. I don't know if you can see that, but this is hot chili oil. You're going to get it in America, you're going to get it in the ethnic food aisle or anywhere like Asian cuisine is going to be, Asian ingredients are going to be sold. This is going to have basically red hot chili or red chilies stored in an oil. This is the basis for it. You're going to have to stir it up because it settles. This is the basis for our sauce. And I'll go over everything, don't worry. I'm going to explain what we're doing here. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons. I want a little more oil in there. Okay. Our second ingredient. Now, the more you add to this, the hotter it's going to be. Okay? Be aware. You like it spicy? That's cool. Add as much as you want. 3 is going to do most people. It will be spicy. We're going to tone it down with some sugar. Okay? The other thing, I'm such a nervous cook, though I take hours. Well, yeah, but you could always, you know, if you're worried about us seeing you cook, I mean, you could just move the camera to where we can only see your face, so we have no idea if you're even cooking or not. All right, so soy sauce, that's our other big ingredient. I recommend light. There's no need. There's no very, very little flavor difference between full soy sauce and light soy sauce. So why add the extra salt if you don't need it? You're going to need equal parts of your hot oil to your soy sauce, okay? Because that is even so still salty, that's where we're going to need something sweet. Now you have the option of using either brown sugar, dark or light, doesn't matter. It's just a question of how much molasses is in it. Dark or light, or honey. Honey would work really good. And in a pinch, regular sugar would work too, but I mean, if you can, why not just use something else? All right, probably a tablespoon. A heaping tablespoon, but I'm going to go with 2. I like it just slightly sweet, not overly sweet. Okay, the other key ingredient to this, remember that Szechuan sauce, or Szechuan seasoning. Sorry. I normally don't do pre-mixed seasonings. There's nothing wrong with them, but as a chef, I like controlling as much as I can about the food that I make, so there's no need for me to do that. But if for amateur chefs and people just learning, 100% go with the pre-made seasonings. There is no shame in that whatsoever. I would never shame someone for trying to find a shortcut when they're first starting out. And even if you like doing that and you're an amazing chef and you still do it, fuck it, man. It's your food. Don't let anybody shame you into doing that shit. All right, rant over. Sorry. Dad's a preacher. I come by it honestly. All right, so we're going to add at least, I want to do at least a tablespoon. Let's now, 1, 2, oh my God. Okay. Sorry, I needed a minute. This is why they don't let me out the house. All right, the other 2 ingredients that I'm going to do is going to be some garlic powder. Well, no, let's do minced garlic. I prefer to do the minced when I can. Powder is usually when I'm sauteing something. That's about 2 tablespoons. And then onion powder. Equal parts onion to garlic, unless you're really loading it up on the garlic, and then don't. I don't have fresh ginger, but I really love ginger, so I want to add about a tablespoon of ginger, only because I know we found that this ginger is not very good, because it's just old. Again, about 6 months on your dry spices, and then they're going to go bad. All right, and then last but not least, even though this is another oil, I want it for flavor. I want to add about a teaspoon of sesame oil. Don't worry, those that are a part of my Discord, I'll post this recipe. After about a month, I'll post a recipe for everybody else for free. All right, so everybody knows I'm starting to get a thing like Babish. I love the little mini whisk. So we're going to mix this up. Now, if this is too thick for you, don't worry, and I'll go over that in a second, but let's mix it up and test the flavor. Don't add salt. Add salt when you're cooking it and adding it. If you need to add salt then, after it's done cooking, add it then. You're going to use less salt that way rather than now. Okay? No need for the salt now. Control your salt. Try to limit the amount of salt. Salt is incredibly important, but it's a double-edged sword. Okay? Too much salt leads to hypertension. Bad things. Trust me, I know. All right. Let's check this out. Oh, fuck, that's good. Whew. I thought I'd have to adjust it, but god damn, that's good. Woo, the spicy, it's in my nose. Too big of a drink. The downside of a mustache and a beard is you keep getting food in it. Yeah, I know. I love Babbage too. I hated him when I first started him, but I think that was jealousy. But I just love the little mini whisk. I'm not going to lie. He's totally right. All right, so I'm too vain. I can't do without my face. That's the exact opposite of what I do. Is it's all my face all the time. Sorry. All right, now let's get a good look at this so you can see what I'm about to talk about. We're almost done, guys. Hang in there. Okay, so if you see, it's a decent mixture. This is enough for maybe 2 to 3 servings of ramen. You're not going to use all of this. It's up to you to decide how much you want to use. All right. If it's too thick when you add it, you're going to have to boil the ramen, right? Okay, so let me back up. We're talking about meal prep. So you're making it ahead of time. So we've made our sauce. We've got dry ramen, either the packets. If you need to use the packets, you don't have a lot of money, and the packets are 6 for $1. By all means, knock them out. If you don't want to use, if you don't have the calories for the whole meal, chop those suckers in half, and then only use half of them. So instead of 370 calories, but that's with the packet, the sauce packet, which you're not going to use. But you know, you're basically having it, so it does become less calories, even though it's highly processed. But you know, when you're poor, you don't have a lot of options. Trust me, I know. Been there. Half my life, I've been so utterly broke. But let's say that you've got this ahead of time and you're at work and you're going to basically use water, put it in the microwave for as long as it tells you, because the packets are on the back. It tells you how long to microwave it for. You just basically need to get the noodles edible, you know, al dente, slightly firm. And then you're done, and then you drain the water off, but don't get rid of all the water. Keep like about a tablespoon or 2 of that water. It's starchy water, and it's going to taste awful on its own, but you're going to want to use that to thin out your sauce. So let's say you add this sauce to your noodles, and you're like, no, it's too thick. I can barely get it mixed in. Add the tablespoon of that the starchy water to that thing, and it'll incorporate. It's already warm, so it's not going to cool it down. It's already got everything. It's got more flavor from the noodles in it, which is marginal, but whatever. Excuse me. So add that in to thin the sauce if you want to do that. Now, the sauce that you're making, this sauce, sorry, wrong button. So this sauce is going to be much thicker than this. Okay, this is more like pho. Okay, this is more of a soup versus this, when you incorporate it with your noodles, is going to be more like, think like a pasta, like an Italian pasta. Think like like a tomato-based pesto pasta or something you'd get from like Olive Garden or something like that. That's more the consistency of what you're going to go for. But you can still be too thick to where it just won't incorporate with the noodles that you made. That's where you use the starchy water to kind of add into it. So if this is confusing, let me know, and I will maybe we'll hang around and I'll boil off some noodles so you can see what it actually looks like, and I'll make it for you. So if you want me to do that, that's totally fine. But that's really all it is that you're just making a thicker pasta. And then you add your chicken on top of that. And you can garnish it with the scallions. Let's say you prep those ahead of time, and you can add those there as well. That's the trick with talking about meal prep, is that I don't meal prep as much, so telling you about this stuff, I can't show you as much unless I'm wasting a ton of money. So it's up to you guys. I have no problem making a dollar version of ramen for you. Okay, so that's that. So if we wanted to add, I almost forgot that we've got our broccoli ready. Yeah, look how pretty that is. Here we go. That way I get some greens in my diet, man. That's not nearly enough, but that's okay. we're going for presentation here. So again, this, and then we've prepped this ahead of time too, so you're just going to chop this up and add it into this as well, along with the broccoli. Really, the only thing that's not done is our noodles, which we just pop those in the microwave, and then we're done. That's it. Now, the beauty of... Thanks, Taki. The beauty of ramen is that it's a blank slate. You can do anything you want with it. We could do like an American barbecue with the chicken, and then add something similar to our sauce for our ramen. I mean, that's the beauty of it. And ramen is so dirt cheap. I mean, why not? I mean, just fuck around and find out, you know? That's cool. You could do a buffalo chicken. We did buffalo chicken egg rolls on Monday. You could do the same thing with this. You could make buffalo chicken sauteed in a pan which is just sauteing up some chicken with some salt and pepper and garlic powder, and then adding, mincing it up, and then adding Frank's Red Hot, which is, there's a 0-calorie version of it. I went over it on Wednesday or Monday. There's a 0-calorie version of it that is, it tastes as good as the full calorie version. So highly recommended if you're trying to save calories. You could add that in, mix it together. You don't even need the cream cheese. I mean, you can if you want, but if you're saving calories, don't add the cream cheese. It'll still taste good. And then you can add that to your, add a little bit more Frank's Red Hot to your cooked ramen, and then you mix it all together. Add some scallions at the end, and boom, you've got buffalo chicken ramen. Fuck, man, that's awesome. Hell, I think I might make that. It sounds really good. Hamburger buns from ramen? Really? How did you do? You got to tell me about that. That sounds amazing. How did you do that, Taki? Hamburger buns from ramen? They were cooked? Hot damn, that's good. Okay, so hopefully on Monday, we're going to wrap it up here, guys, unless you guys have some questions. We're going to wrap it up. On Monday, same time, normal time at noon, is Sulkin is going to be here, my buddy. He's got a Twitch channel. I wish I could link it. He's going to teach me how, so that he can get some credit, because he is amazing and he has helped me out so much. But I like hanging out with a guy because, let's be honest, he's a ginger. Gingers rule the world. 2 bricks of ramen with a hamburger. That's what I thought of, Astro, but I'm assuming he's not talking like he did something. He manufactured it somehow so it's actually edible. And I'm fascinated, and I really want to know what it is. Yeah, right? It's so crunchy. But anyway, Sulkin's going to be here on Monday with his girlfriend. We're going to have a lot of fun cooking in my tiny kitchen, but I don't know what we're making yet. I'll let you guys know on Sunday, and I will post it up everywhere to let you know. Not chicken. Hot damn, I'm done with chicken. A week's worth of chicken, and I'm so done. But let's say, because he was supposed to be here last Monday, but work interfered. If he can't make it because of work again, I totally get it. Work is work. I will figure it out, and we'll do something cool, because like I said, we did buffalo chicken, so we'll figure it out, man. I'm pretty sure my fiance is going to want salmon, because she's been crying for it for weeks. And yeah, so I've got a couple really good easy salmon recipes that are really good that we can try out. I'll show you how to saute a salmon if that's the case. Very easy to do once you figure out a few key things, because one of the things that most people do is that it ends up sticking to the pan. That's the #1 thing. Even myself, when I first started cooking it, is that I had a hard time keeping it from sticking to the pan, especially with a skin on it. There are a few tricks that we'll go over with. Discord? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Taki. Yeah. Cooked individual ramen packs, cooked in bowls to let them set. Flavor from the ramen station. Interesting. That's fascinating. Oh, he posted a link. Kick ass, man. Thank you so much. I'm going to totally look into that, because I never even thought about doing that as a thing. That's awesome. I would love to do that. I would totally do that. I don't think I'd do the donut thing like we were talking about earlier. All right, guys. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to clean up. Astro will be on in a few minutes to kill some shit in Vermintide. Remember, if you do subscribe once I figure it out, then I have a Discord set up where I post immediately, well, within a day, all of the recipes that we go over. You also get to talk with me and ask me any questions. I will also do a set time once we get enough people in there to do just video chats, live video chats, so you guys can just talk and we can just shoot the shit and do whatever. Fuck, man, if you guys play Vermintide, I'll play Vermintide with you too, man. Vermintide 2. Amazing game, by the way. All right, man. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in and hanging out with me today. I truly love doing this. I hope that I get to keep doing it. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. It was so much. Yeah, thank you for coming in again, Kara. I will hopefully see you Monday. Kara is from Sulkin's channel, so hopefully she'll show up on Monday, man. I can't wait. I'm so excited for him to come over. I miss that guy. Hey, Sulkin! There he is, man. There's the man. It's his channel. He is the man. He's going to be hopefully here on Monday. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun. I cannot wait. Sulkin is so cool. Gingers of the world, unite! He is so much more ginger than me. I'm very jealous of the color of this hair, because I'm kind of half blonde, half ginger, but that man's full on ginger. Anyway, if you got a chance, go check him out. He is so funny, especially, and I've said it before, I love watching him when he plays scary video games. Alright guys, I will see you guys later. Wednesday at noon, same bat time, same bat channel. I will see you then.